Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. As always, it's me, Ivan, and today I've got the full review of the Kronos Skyline Homage, the one I already showed you in a couple of previous videos. Now, I haven't owned many Kronos watches, this is only my second, but I genuinely feel like it might be their best so far. The build quality, the finishing, the dial, the movement, everything is just phenomenal. And with the AliExpress winter sale right around the corner, this is definitely a watch worth keeping an eye on. I bought this one from the Kronos official store on AliExpress during the last sale for pretty much the same price it's going for now. At the moment you can grab the PT 5004 version for $219 US, while the model with the Miota 90S5, the one I went for, is $239. And on top of that you can use the discount codes I've left for you in the description and comments to save at least another 20 bucks. Unfortunately, the Miota model is almost sold out, and at the time of recording this video, only the brown perlage version is still in stock. So if that's the one you want, you might want to hurry. Before we get into the dimensions, I just want to point out that I'm really impressed with the packaging. It's basically the standard Kronos setup you get with most of their watches, but in addition to the usual paperwork, screwdriver and so on, you also get this travel case. And that's actually super handy for transporting your watch without taking up much space in your luggage. And guys, it's even more useful for watches like this one, where the bracelet doesn't fully articulate. Dimension-wise, this piece definitely hits the sweet spot for many of us, myself included. The case diameter is only 39mm, but because of the angular design it was larger, as you'll see in a moment. The lug-to-lug comes in at just 44mm, the thickness is 10.2, and size for me it weighs 127 grams. On the wrist, like I said, it does look bigger than a typical 39mm, but it's incredibly comfortable, it looks fantastic, and with the excellent finishing and that flashy dial, this is definitely not a watch that's going to go unnoticed. However, despite the bracelet being really nice, I can't get a perfect fit, which is kind of funny because all the links are fairly short and you also get two half links. So guys, the fit I'm getting is pretty decent, just a bit on the loose side. And I definitely don't consider it as a deal breaker, as it's a common thing for bracelets with a butterfly clasp. Besides that, this is a fantastically well built and finished bracelet. It has no sharp edges at all, it's comfortable and it looks great. Oh, and by the way, this Kronos also comes with a really nice quality leather strap in the box. I doubt I'll ever try it on since the color isn't exactly a great match for this dial, but it's definitely a nice touch that they included. Next, taking a closer look at the case further confirms that the overall build quality here is excellent. It's all metal, it feels solid, and the finishing is outstanding. You get mostly vertical brushing, but it's broken up by plenty of sharp chamfered edges. And guys, let me tell you this, there are very few watches that play with the light the way this one does. So honestly, if you don't mind the fact that this is an homage to the Zenith Skyline, this is a watch you should seriously consider because it absolutely delivers in terms of looks, build quality and overall fit and finish. But as good as the case is, the dial is where this watch really starts to shine. I went for the blue perlage version, but truth be told, all the other options look stunning as well, and there really isn't a wrong choice here. You know, I don't think it looks quite as good on camera as it does in real life, but even then you can still appreciate just how well executed it is. The handset and indices are beautifully polished, and the dial itself features this really nice perlage texture that almost hypnotizes you if you stare at it for a while. It's just really good, guys, and if you're into this kind of dial, I've got no doubt you're going to love it. My only gripe here, and I've said this before, is the Kronos branding. Completely unnecessary in my opinion. If they made the logo a bit bigger and removed the text, it would be perfect. Other than that, it's a gorgeous dial that also looks great in the dark thanks to the excellent Lume application. It's BGW9 of course, and as you would expect, it's bright and stays visible for hours on end. Before I give you my final thoughts, let's briefly talk about the movement. As I mentioned earlier, I went for the Miyota 90S5, mainly because I'm a huge fan of the entire Miyota 9 series. In fact, these movements make up a big part of my collection, and they've all been running great so far. And this one in particular is gaining only 2 seconds per day, which is excellent. That said, I also own around 5 watches with the PT5000, and honestly, they've never given me any trouble either. So if Kronos doesn't restock the Miyota version anytime soon, I wouldn't hesitate to go for the PT5000 instead. Just keep in mind that it's not a very attractive movement to look at. Alright guys, let's wrap things up. In my opinion, the Kronos Skyline is another watch that really punches above its weight. You're getting that classic Genta-inspired design at a much more accessible price point, but without the usual compromises you'd expect. I mean, the build quality and finishing are excellent, the case and bracelet feel solid and well thought out, the dial is genuinely beautiful, and you've got the option of reliable movements like the Miyota 90S5 or the PT5000. Sure, it's an homage and that's something everyone has to decide for themselves, but purely as a watch, this one really delivers. I would say, if you like the style and you want something that looks and feels far more expensive than it actually is, the Kronos Skyline is very easy to recommend. Especially now, with AliExpress starting to roll out some really tempting Christmas deals. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like button as it really helps the channel out. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more watch reviews, deals and comparisons like this one. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about the Kronos Skyline and whether you would pick the Miyota or the PT5000 version. Thanks again guys, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.